let's take a question from Andy, and do you want to take this one, Harriet? Which is basically one of the big announcements from the Chancellor yesterday is a plan to scrap the work capability assessment in a few years' time. Andy says they discussed the PIP assessment, the Personal Independence Payment Assessment, in the white paper, which was also published yesterday afternoon. You should all read it. But it's not totally clear how it's going to work, and there's obvious anxiety. What do you think?
I think this is one where we haven't yet seen all the detail, but the general approach is one where the system has been set up to define what people can't do. And I think what the Chancellor wants to see is a system, and Mel Stride, my predecessor as chair of the committee who's done this Stride review, is a system that says, well, what can you do and how can we help you do that, particularly in an environment where there are more jobs that you can do from home, and there's more flexibility in the workplace than there used to be.
Very good. The reason this is important is because there's currently these two assessments for people with disabilities or in health. The work capability assessment is giving you higher income support if you're too ill to work, and your PIP assessment is deciding whether you qualify for benefits that help you deal with the costs of being disabled. Right, and the different people pass one test or the other. And so we're moving to a system with just one test, just the PIP assessment, that we're going to use to evaluate both things we're trying to do in simple terms. I'm trying to keep this simple. And so the challenge is there's a group of people who do qualify because they're too ill to work for the current work health capability assessment support, but won't qualify if we just use a PIP assessment, which is what we're heading towards. There's about 600,000 of them. There's also people the other way who will benefit because they do qualify for PIP but don't qualify for the income support. So there'll be winners from this approach, but there's 600,000 potential losers. This is all in the very long term. It's really important for anyone watching that's actually affected by this change. None of this is being done to people who are currently in the benefit system, and the change isn't even planned to be legislated for until the next Parliament. Probably we're talking about the back end of this decade. Probably the rollout would be going on into the 2030s. So people shouldn't be panicking now. The government obviously knows there's an issue, because if you read the white paper, they say they go to the groups that you would most worry about from a political perspective. So people with cancer being treated would qualify, would often pass a work capability assessment and get extra support, but don't qualify for PIP. And ill and pregnant mothers, I think, is also on their list of people they're looking to exempt. So they know there's challenges. We're going to work this through, and basically we're going to find out what the policy is over the coming years. It's hard.